What's going on, everybody? Product Probes back at you with a fun one today. Today we're doing one of the large Bowie knives from Mtech. It is the, well, it's all covered up, the MT-20-57GN. This one's going to be a fun one, guys, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, I'm pretty excited about this one. Right out of the box, this is what we're going to be looking at. This thing is actually really large. It says it's a 12.5, 13-inch blade, but we'll check all that out here in a minute. It's actually wrapped up in some plastic here. Nice little sheath to it. Slides out like that. Got your little blade guard right there. But before we do anything, let's go ahead and look at some details on this knife. Okay, so the first thing you're going to notice is that it's definitely a larger knife. So let's go ahead and get into a few of the details of this nice looking thing. If you can see right here, got your just standard straight blade all the way down it. Saw back right here. Now on some knives, this little indentation will sometimes be a fire starter, but I think in this case it's just going to be a blood groove. And what I mean by an actual blood groove, let's just say you're hog hunting or something, when you stick it in, it actually alleviates some of the pressure and let that blood flow through so you don't get a suction, which is hard to pull out. That'll actually allow it to come on out, having that blood drain down the knife. I know it sounds bad, but I think in this case that's what that's for. And not a fire starter. You got your black oxidized steel blade, stainless steel blade rather, but it doesn't look like it would scratch up too much. There's the back of that blade. Nah, what is this? This is a clip style blade. Don't hold me to that, I ain't looked them up in a while, but clip point, I think that's what that is. Saw back right here. Got an ABS handle, nice green pattern to it, and it is the super, like, it's smooth plastic. It's not the rough stuff, so it doesn't actually hurt your hands. Down here you got your grips, nice little cutout patterns up here at the top. Your thumb ramp is actually just right here, and it will end with that block. So if you were to be cutting down on something, you do have a little bit of guard to keep your finger from slipping. So you've got that, and then it's not paracord, it's just your standard nylon rope, but you do have a wrist strap that you can adjust to, I guess, any style wrist or the length that you would like. So there it is, guys, just a simple fixed blade knife. Saw back again, blade straight right here. This thing seems to be super sharp, but if my shoulder will hold up, we're going to take this thing outside and really try to do some damage with it. The sheath on it, let's go over this real fast. It's your, you know, a lot of times your cheaper nylon sheaths are not going to be worth the flip, but in this case they put a little plastic liner in there to keep the knife from cutting the sheath, which is really good. And then another thing is they have the button right here, or the snap. You know, a lot of times you see the cheaper ones with the Velcro. This one actually has the button on it, which is going to be a lot better for walking through through bushes and anything like that that's going to be hitting your knife. That old cheap Velcro up here is not just going to get demolished and ruined. This one you actually have a snap in it. Let me show you what it looks like inside real quick, and then we'll get into it. That's what it looks like right there. Snaps pretty easy. Snaps rather good there too. But here's another close-up with it in the sheath. Got your Mtech right here on the sheath. The yeah, right there's your belt loop that you'll see, or your belt clip, but it's not really a clip, it's just you can run your belt through it. But it seems to have a little give right there, so it's not so tight against you. But that's it, guys. Just a quick little details of this knife. Seems to be super sharp, but like I was saying, if my shoulder will hold up, we're going to go out and have some fun with it. So let's go ahead and get into it.
All right, guys, we're out here, and I think the first thing that we're gonna do is test the sharpness of this blade real quick on some paper just to see if we can get it to catch. Yeah, so it's no problem. Well, a little bit of rip right there, but that was just because of the paper. Let's try that again right here. Slices it right down. So right out of the package, this thing is super sharp. You got any more of that paper in your hand? Let's test the point real quick. It's got the little clip point blade right there. Yeah, and it sliced down like that. So guys, right now, this thing's turning out to look pretty good. All right, guys, we're out here and we got us a couple of tree branches. We're gonna try to split this thing because this blade, as y'all can see, was actually really sharp. So let's see what we got. Put it right here. Get us this heavier stick. Get us a nice indention going. And with the blade being so long like this, you can really get good, solid hits on something like this. So, as you can see on the split right here, I mean, it's splitting right down the center of it. Still got plenty of gap. Might would want to readjust your blade just a hair. So, let's just say it was stuck. Just go ahead and hammer your blade on in a little bit like that. And now, squat down and probably see it a little better, and then just finish it on out. So, could have used probably a little bit heavier stick to hit it with, but that right there is a sharp knife. All right, now we saw how sharp this knife was. Now we're gonna see how it does feathering some of these sticks. We have two of the sticks I was just working with. This is the banger stick. Now, it's still a little green, but just wanna show you how this thing slices it. Look at that. I mean, this thing, and of course, you don't really wanna feather when it's this green because you're gonna be feathering to try to make fire starter, but this, you could see it a lot better because of that green part back there on how well this thing could slide down and skin. So let's see how it does on this halfway dead pine that we got. The I can't even think now. I done cut my finger. Look at that on that knife. That's how sharp that thing is. So anyway, let's keep rolling with it. Let's flip this thing around, and we're gonna take this bark off. And now, this saw, you would think would be good at doing it, but it seems like it's gonna be better just to go ahead and take it and scratch it on off right here. So, now, let's see how this thing really does feathering. Oh yeah, it's getting in down there pretty good. Look at that, I'm still doing that, but the feathers, it's just not sliding down. There we go, look at them coming. And I could sit here and work my way all the way up this log, but look at those right there. Don't know if you can see those in the camera, but these feathers are rather large. And all you would do is you'd clear out a little spot, you know, the hole for your fire or whatever. Take these feathers, go ahead and shave them on off, maybe make them a little bit smaller, and make you a little pile, something like that. You might want to make these a little thinner, but a lot of times on this this blood groove right here, on a lot of these Bowie knives, it also is a fire starter. So if you had your little fire starter, you could knock it down here. Unfortunately, on this knife, it's not. So no help there. I guess you would have to have some type of you know, lighter or an actual fire starter. So that's it, guys. This thing is pretty sharp. I just cut the heck out of my finger, as you saw, but just to finish out, show y'all right here, just one-handed. Now I'm going to try to feather this thing, but yeah, that's it, guys. All right, guys, as you can see, I've already have it on my belt, and I tell you what, it actually is a very comfortable knife. It doesn't hit or flap too much. Let me give y'all a close-up on this. As you can see right here, there is going to be no real concealed side of it, but you know, the print on it is definitely going to be there. So we'll just get that out of the way right there. The button makes this thing a lot better for staying in place. It's not, you know, if it flops around or turns this way, if you're crawling or anything, it's not going to come out. So that's a plus right there. Now, slides out super easy, slides in even better actually. So that's what it looks like right there. Slide it back in. Now inside of this sheath, I'll tell you this, it's got the plastic liner in there, so it keeps you from having to cut, you know, your sheath whenever you're putting the knife in and out, and it also helps that slide a lot better. So let me show you what it looks like walking real quick. All right, guys, as you can see, not too much flopping around, not a whole lot going on right there. You know, you can see the flop a little bit, but that's what it looks like on the belt, guys. All right, guys, I want to show you all this lanyard real quick. It's not paracord, it's just some nylon rope, but you can adjust it and retie it, you know, to your wrist. This is how it came, so it is a little loose, but having it there so it doesn't fall off is actually a plus for it. You know, you can, of course, you're not going to be swinging it around and doing anything like that, but the lanyard is a pretty cool little thing, especially for this wrist strap.
Alright guys, there you have it. Tried to get out, implement some new things with this type of review. My shoulder was feeling a little bit better, so we were definitely going to put this one through the ringer, and it held up. So I definitely like this knife. I will show y'all one thing on the handle that's not even a big deal at all, but wanted to show y'all this. Right here, this plastic started coming off right here, and I say plastic, it's the little coating that's on this handle that makes it so smooth. It did start rubbing right there, and if it rubs off, it's just going to be that, you know, smooth plastic still, but you'll be in that second layer of it, so that's not too bad at all. But definitely wanted to point that out. I hope this review helped y'all. If you're thinking about buying it, if you want to check it out, I'll leave the link below in the description. Be sure to check out our new knife series that we're doing every Friday night, where we're giving knives like this away, all kinds of assisted knives, fixed blade knives, you name it. All of our other reviews that we've done, we're giving away every Friday. I'll leave it up here in one of these corners, so be sure to check that out. And guys, again, hope this review helped. Hope it was a little bit more fun than some of the usual reviews that we do. But that's it. And guys, I will see y'all in the next one.